What is up, everybody? Happy Labor Day. Hope everybody is having fun, being safe, doing something. Please, please get out and do something because now it's starting to get a little chilly. Yes, it is. And I love it. This is big man weather. It's about to hit. So if you don't have yourself a big man to keep you warm, guess what? Get yourself one. I know one. Motherfucker, keep you warm. Cuddle your ass up. All right, listen. This is not the episode today. As you saw, the name of the episode it is called "Social Credit System," and I thought that would be a fitting episode for Labor Day. And if you don't even know what Labor Day is a holiday that honors the social and economic contributions of American workers. Hey, take the day off, buddy. Have yourself a couple of brewskis. That's what you do on Labor Day. Nothing. And I was like, man, I've been figuring out when I needed to have this, not needed, but wanted to have this episode out. And this is the perfect time, right? Labor, working, social credit system. Think about it. Since we are pretty much all damn digital, in 50 years, I'm telling you right now, the robots are going to completely take over everything. Humans will be slaves because the robots are going to do everything so well. They're going to suck you well. They're going to fuck you well. You are going to leave whatever you got going on for some robot, whatever. Nuts, bolts, robot ussy. you, you might be fiending for it. They already been slowly getting themselves out there into the world. I saw a machine one day where it did all the work. It was hands free. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. But let's get back into this, folks. Welcome to the show. I'm Chuck Jerome. This is Casually Uncomfortable. And this is what I do talk about some wild stuff. But this week I wanted to switch it up. Like I said, talk about a social credit system. Because maybe if shit gets too wild, they're going to start cracking down on a lot. And you said, Chuck, what is a social credit system? You told me what Labor Day is. I'd be like, hell yeah. Social credit system, it's going to be like a report card for how well people follow rules, instructions, and how they just behave in society. And so what's going to happen is it's going to be the government or some government subcontracted entity. They're going to keep track of things. Like you paying your bills on time, following laws, being nice to others, shit like that. And it all is going to add up. So everything that you do is based off of, you guessed it, your actions. You do good things, those good things could get your score to go through the roof. Or if you're a piece of shit, then guess what? Your numbers will plummet. Just like your credit score, your SCSS, is that right? Social Credit System Score. Yeah, SCSS. I don't know if that's real or not, but that's what I'm going to say. I like that. It's off the top of my head. So your SCSS can hurt you or help you. Let's say you want to get a loan. right? Boom. Or a good job. That might limit you. Or while a low score may mean you can't travel easily or access certain areas. So if you're not going to be a law abiding citizen, then guess what? You're going to be cut off from a lot. Now this is getting crazier, right? I never really looked this up. I did a little research. I wrote some things down. I left it, and now I'm coming back to it. But think about that. If you're being a honest person who does their shit and just leaves people alone, you can be rewarded for that. And then the concern is people would worry about privacy because they're going to be tracking shit. And then you got to worry about whether whoever's judging you is being fair. So this could be good. This could be bad. But I, for some reason, wanted to talk about this. And now I'm going to go into a few pros and cons of, if this shit happens in a few years because people keep acting the fuck up.
It's time to get casually uncomfortable with your host, Chuck Jerome.
Viewer discretion is advised. You know what? Let's switch it up. Everybody always goes good. Let's go bad. Let's go 5 bad ones first. I think I found 10 for each, but let's start with some bad stuff. Privacy concerns. Your data is out there. Everything you do is being tracked by someone, by some outside entity. They're watching every little thing you do. Every little thing you do. That's crazy in itself. But is it any different than what's going on right now in the world? Dude, I went to this new store that got put up in my area, and I just happened to notice cameras. And what they did was they painted the camera the same color as the pole. So it was in the morning. It was during the day, and I just happened to notice it. So they're set. So if you decide, hey, I'm going to steal from this place, they have a clear fucking camera of your license plate. Clear ass picture. So you don't have to worry about nothing. All right. So what are we worried about now? Then you got to worry about what I said earlier, an abuse of power. The people judging you have their own agendas and their own feelings about different things, so they might judge harshly. Not once have I heard them say this about police officers, right? They're not using this as a framework for police officers. A potential abuse of power. Nobody looks at that. I feel like once you become a police officer, dude, they got your back. Unless you visibly, suplex a guy onto a fucking car or something on the camera. But other shit that they can cover up, hell yeah, they're gonna cover it up. It's sad, but that's how it is. So you could have people abusing power left and right. Oh, you want to talk back, huh? 5 points deducted. And then what did I say? It is technology. So if we're going to go with technology, then you have to worry about technical errors. You got to worry about malfunctions of any kind, any of that type of shit. Blackouts, errors from other ends of the system that have nothing to do with right there, but they do. You don't know. You don't know. The shit could crash one day. Have you ever worked in a restaurant and then the computers went out and then people had to figure out how to do sales tax? Dude, it is rough to watch. Once that happens, you're like, man, we have failed everyone, all these teachers, nobody remembers how to do any bit of sales tax. It boggles my mind. Back to what I was saying. I don't want to start getting too crazy. Any type of errors could make you. It's the last day of the cycle, and you'd been fucking up, and this day you raised your points by 20 by doing a few things, and people found out, and now you could be in good standings for this cycle. But then the computers went down. Now you could be penalized for that. That's what we got to deal with technology. Or you might live with a little fear, because you might get penalized for anything. Oh, I'm driving too fast. Hey, Chuck, we're going to have to take off 2 points. You get a fucking email midday. You're like, fuck, they're taking my points. See, you don't think about that type of stuff. I never did. I was thinking, before I really got into this, I was like, man, this sounds pretty good. Help people be decent human beings. But then you got so many outside forces that could just fuck you at any second. So now let's go to a few positives. It encourages good behavior. If you're not trying to beat anybody's face in, you're going to help them plant some flowers and become a better human being and component to society. Right? It's going to improve accountability. This is all on you, bucko. Not mommy, not daddy, not grandma, not grandpa, not uncle, not auntie. This is all you. And that's how it should be, man. Honestly, like, look, you got yourself into this shit. Yes, you can get help. You can phone a friend. You can do all of that. But once it becomes habitual and you are just a loser, then someone needs to fucking step in. Like, people got enough shit to deal with, and then they have to deal with your shit too. Like, come on. That's not fair to anybody. And then you wonder why someone would be pissed off, because nobody's being accountable. But this is going to hold you to accountability. Yeah. Your actions, buddy. Your actions. Now, another thing that it would also do, it would also reduce fraud. It would reduce scams. That corrupt bullshit. Because someone's tracking it. And guess what? If you want to be a shady shit, trust me, if they ever did something like this, they would have someone checking, then they'd have someone double checking, then they'd have someone triple checking, and they'd be getting paid. But then there are hackers and scammers who are fucking good at their jobs. So that's what I'm saying. It will reduce it, but not completely end it, because these motherfuckers are crafty. It would definitely build stronger community trust. You would feel safer and want to go outside, because you would know that if you wanted to go for a jog, Miss Jenkins' fucking dog Tiny, who's a Rottweiler Great Dane mix, you know that son of a bitch ain't going to get off the leash, because if her score goes down anymore, she's getting fucking evicted. There's not going to be motherfuckers worrying about other motherfuckers' shit. You're going to be worried about your shit. You're going to go and do your job and mind your business. And then the cities and the towns and everything will start blooming and blossoming, because people will be amazing, and in turn for them being amazing, they might be able to borrow money to open up that little boutique that they wanted. So yeah, you stay in good standings, and guess what? You can gain so much. Maybe your loan this time took 2 weeks to process. If you got your credit score right, your SCSS, if you got that shit right, then guess what? They'll be like, yeah, we processed your request and it only took 2 days or something like that. You know, maybe it goes down a week. And then if your score keeps going up, then lowers the time. Shit, you get a good score, you might be able to get a loan same day, baby. Same day. All right, let's go to 5 more cons. You lose your individuality. You just become a number. That's kind of what we're turning into. And if you don't get rewarded. You do or you don't. That's how that would be. So that would be kind of crazy. And depending on what you do and who's judging you that day, it could be a lot more worse than what it honestly needs to be. Oh, you decided to wear a dress. And then someone's like, well, you can't wear a dress. We're going to dock you 15 points. You'd be ready to fight somebody. So. How about if the machines don't go down, but just start glitching out? You get some false numbers. Now that gets your ass in trouble. Now they think you're tampering with shit and you didn't do anything. It's technology, so you never know. Oh, it malfunctions and there's a mistaken identity. Now you're getting beat in the street. You never know. But then, if you're beating someone in the street, then you're going to lose some points too. But then they might go, well, why did you beat this guy half to death? So, you never know. You never know. Exclusion. If you're not where you need to be, then guess what? You're not going to be there. And then that could set you up for a vicious cycle. And you're just struggling. The cycle of struggle. It's a real thing. It is really real. Really, really real. Now people are struggling. And guess what's still there? The black market. Now it's bigger than ever. It's deeper. They might go on there and try and get their score changed or bribe someone into changing their score. Any number of things can happen. That's why, this sounds good, but there's so much outside interference. And then if all this shit starts going down, you're going to lose trust in your government. You're going to be like, what the fuck are we doing? It sounded good at the beginning, but now you're fucking up. You're fucking up. So, how many glitches before you lose your mind, And the government will be like, and that'll be the response. And then you're supposed to go on and continue doing what the fuck they say. See, this makes you think. It really does. It's made me think. All right, let's end it on 5 pros. So, want to end on a bad note. That's why I did it like this. Damn, Chuck, you so smart. All right, public safety improvement. You are going to feel safer going outside, like I said earlier. You're going to want to go downtown. You're going to want to take walks through the city. You're going to feel safe parking your car. You're going to feel safe sitting at the fucking laundromat. But it's going to improve it. It's not going to be the end-all, be-all, because like I said, everywhere there's hot garbage people. Reckless driving would go down. Drunk driving, go down. Those are the type of things where you lose massive amounts of points. It would promote responsibility. You wouldn't have just fucking in the way people. We have a lot of them. You know a few of them right now. It would cut back on that. Motherfuckers would have to actually do something. Hey, Bobby, you ain't going to be able to sit on your ass all day and collect whatever. Nope. Get the fuck up. That's how that is. That's what their campaign would be. Get the fuck up. And they would just say it just like that. Because they're the government and they could say it. And if the FCC fucking censored them saying fuck, then guess what? They're docking their points too. All right, let's get back to this. But people are going to be happier and want to volunteer and do charity work and help the community because they'll feel safe to be in the community. It would deter repeat offenders, the rule breakers, the bad guys. They're going to face real consequences. They're not going to be fucking around with this. If everybody is on board, then everybody's going to be on board or you can get the fuck out. That's how that would be. Hey, listen, this is your 6th time. You're done. You got a score of 2. You ain't going to be able to do shit. And then, like I said earlier, if you do that, nobody wants a 2. So that son of a bitch is trapped. They're stuck. Stagnant, stale, done, son. There could be side quests that offer more reward if you do things like recycle and use public transportation or go out on the weekends for a few hours and pick up at your local creek. But if this were to go into place, then they're docking people for everything. So you go and buy a pack of cigarettes, open them up, and throw that little plastic wrapper on the ground. Guess what? That could be like 50 points right there. I don't even know what you would start with, but you wouldn't want to continue to fuck up. So yeah, people would become more eco-friendly. I know you've seen people throw shit out their windows. Dude, that just burns me up. You couldn't just sit it in your car for what, 10 more minutes till you got to a trash can? Like, come on. Come the fuck on. I hate that shit. I hate it. And then the last thing, since everything would be digital, they're going to have to beef up digital security across the board. Like that would probably at that point have to be a government thing. And then they're going to be watching and doing all this. But it would slowly increase people's digital trust. Because people don't like this shit now because it is pretty easy to go through and fuck someone's account. Which is a sad thing to see and or hear about. And in turn, this would make the economy boom because people would be able to spend their money safely. That's how I want to say it. They would be able to spend their money safely, go onto a marketplace, and know that they're not going to get fucking robbed if they go meet someone at the grocery store parking lot. Because if that person runs off with their stuff and they report it and the cameras that are all set up around the city see, then guess what? That person's fucked. No Christmas for you this year because they're docking your pay. So yeah, this just don't be a piece of shit. That's it. That's all. That's the easiest way to do that. Don't be a piece of shit. I think this was a good episode. I had this kind of sitting, waiting, like, man, this ain't the right time, and this and that. And I was, working through episodes, and I'm like, this is the spot. This is where it needs to be. So along the lines of these crazy topics, I just did a few weeks ago credit wipe, where I talk about doing a credit wipe, how we should do that at 40. And then now I did the social credit system. And then I got one more, and it'll be in October, and I'm going to talk about having a cashless society. So tune in for that one. But this was a good episode. I'm glad I got everything squared away and got it done. It was fun. But I'm going to be out of here. I'll see you Wednesday. Don't forget, you can check out the episodes in their entirety on YouTube, also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok at Casually Uncomfortable, Twitter at Casually Unchuck. Let your friends know. All right, see you Wednesday, and don't be a piece of shit. Thanks.